Hey, what's up? It is DJ. We got more mods to take a look at today for FarmSid 25. In total, 25 mods were released. All platforms got 16 new and 3 updates, and PC and Mac players also got 3 new and 3 updates. However, I will tell you, one of those 16 new ones for crossplay was removed. We're still going to go over it anyway, just in case you want to see it. Hey, if you missed the live stream from this morning, go check that one out after this. Otherwise, let's jump right in. Starting off today, new mods for all platforms. We have a new map. This is New Hope by David Merriman. Let your imagination run wild and your dream farm come true. 55 farmlands to buy, 2 woodland areas, UK license plates, animations of cows, butterflies, and hot air balloons. Also, this is their first map, and they hope we enjoy it. This is kind of neat. So this is basically a start from scratch, make it how you want it to be, but in a UK style. The outside of the map looks very, very good, at least down on the ground, although it is a little bit brown. Still, I'm really, really high up, so that is on me. We do have some areas with, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of randomness, but you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm super duper cool with it. I'm digging this. We do have a little bit of area that we start with on this map. So over on the left-hand side, we do have farmland number 4 and farmland number 11. So we've got a place to build and a place to harvest. Actually, a pretty big size field over here. Taking a look at the farmland areas themselves, I mean, $362,000 for this. That's 26 acres. It's pretty good. And then we have farmland number 4 over here, which has just kind of got all of our equipment just, well, it's all just kind of sitting here, but I like that. I think that's pretty neat. So big shouty outy, very cool there. Also, I will say this as well. Looking at the equipment, I am almost certain that these are in the exact same spot as you would see on Riverbend Springs, except for like the header on the trailer. Check it out. Imagine if like the barn was right over here, right? Well, the seed is right by the cedar, which is on the other side of this, which would have been facing out of the barn, with the John Deere on the side, and this over here over by the shed. Just me? Come on, this can't just be me. Nonetheless, again, there you go. There is that. We do have, they're not quite squared off, at least some of them are not, but we do have some interesting sizes for everything. You can even buy the water. We can't buy the area that the town is in, but that is a good thing so that multiplayer and things like that work out appropriately. Speaking of, let's go check it out. I've got my settings on max, at least for what the base game allows me to on PC, and the trees are popping in, I think, at a very good distance. So great job there. You don't want to have all of them popping in at once, otherwise you have a bunch of problems. Speaking of problems, I'm not having the artifacting on screen problems like I was yesterday. I've done nothing. I changed nothing. I just turned the computer off yesterday. Pretty cool area, though. Everything is looking good over here. This is definitely not exactly the way that it was on the other map, so good to see that change up. Of course, over here, we've got our sell points. We also have a gas station there, which is nice to see. Farmer's market, lime station. We've got a vehicle workshop there and the vehicle shop there. And we have sawmill, very cool. Animal dealer, another animal dealer. So one's the sell point and one is the buy point. You've also got your manure and liquid manure sell points there. And that's it. At least for the rest of the map, there are no other points of interest around towards the rest of the map. So heads up through there. Any custom crops? Doesn't look like it. We also have our growth calendar right here, so you can see that. As far as animals, nothing in there. As far as our production chains, we have one available, the sawmill. However, there are none owned. And as far as our vehicles, here you can see all of those, pretty much everything that you get in the base game. And did I mention no required mods? Shouty outy. Very cool. I kind of dig this. I like that it's a little bit different than the start from scratch mods and maps that we normally get. A little bit different. You know what? Let's go. I dig this. I kind of want to play on this a little bit. Hey, let me know if you'd like to see it. Next on our list today, we have the John Deere 8R 2016-2018 US Series from JHHG Modding. We've talked quite a bit about this in Farm Sim News videos of the past, and it is finally here. Great news on that. As far as this mod goes, we've got a lot going on. We'll go 31 miles an hour. We have a bunch of customization options. So starting with a front mount. So we have a big front hydraulic 3-point, which is great to have. We've also got a rock box. Then we get into the weights. We have the weight bracket itself, and then we can do a 400, an 800, 1200, an 1800, and nada. So you can choose what you like. I imagine one of these weights is probably going to be the more popular, so let's go with something like that. Then engine options. We have all of our engines available with an auto power, power shift, or IVT transmission. And this is going to be available with a 245 all the way up to 400 horsepower. That's right, you got that 8400R looking fresh. Then come the wheel options. With these, we're going to have our Lizards, which is basically like a Goodyear. Then you've got Michelin and Continental. If you want a 30-inch, you go with the Michelins. If you want a 36, you go with the Continental setup. As far as these, with the LSWs, they're only available with weights, so just humongous singles, and that's what it's going to look like from the back. Yes, we have fender options, so don't worry if you think it looks silly like I do. There's fenders to put on there, but they are a separate option. Then we get into the Michelin set, and there's just a bunch here. So you've got the 30-inch row crop, and then you could do with the hub in the front, and then the wheel weights in the back, and then the hub. And then you go with the tools in the back with the weight, and the inside of the outside of both. Then you have the hub with the weights inside and outside back, and then you've got duals all the way around, and then back to center. Then, whenever we get out to the Continental, the 36-inch row crop, these are pretty much the same. So you've got weights all over the place, and then you've got everything up and down. It's so many different options to choose from, so it is going to be quite difficult, I think, maybe looking for what you're looking for, but they've simplified it. 36-inch is in the Continental, and your 30-inch row crops are in the Michelin, or if you want singles, go with your Lizard. So I am a big fan of the 30-inch duals, or maybe like the single in the front. Let's see, where's that at? Yeah, man, that's a good looking tractor right there. Love that. All right, so now we have year selections, 2016 or 2018. Fenders is what I was talking about, so you can do a front, rear, or both. Now, the rear's not going to be massive, but it's enough. The beacon lights are going to be available with left, right, and both, or nada. GPS configs are pretty standard, 300 or 3,000 and 6,000, or nothing. Extra lights around towards the front, and then we have attachers around towards the back. So you've got your standard set. You've got with the pin hitch that's been lowered down. Then you could do the quick hitch, and then we could do a tractor triangle. Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. And then with the flashers and extensions, so base is blinker flashers, but we also have blinker flashers with decals, although I have no idea where the decals are, or you could just do nothing if you like. And then you got your license plate. With this bad boy, we have a few different animations on here. So the first one is going to be kneeling, so we do have that. Then we have, as well, the side door and the rear window. But as far as that, those are everything. That is all of your animations for this tractor. Let's bring that front down a little bit. There we go. Looking good. There's also one thing to note here. She leans. There is some weight to it. A lot of weight to it. Definitely get you some rear wheel weights, because it looks like you got to need them. It weighs 12.2 tons, and the weight is exactly where you think it would be. Centrifugal force, let me tell you what. That's all your vehicles for all platforms, so now let's talk about implements. First one is the Samson PG228 Genesis. This is a slurry tanker, not spreader. You will have to attach a tool to make it such. So as far as this 27,800 liters, 300 horsepower is required on it. You do have multiple different wheel brands to choose from, which is nice. And we've got a couple different setups for those as well. So very cool to see that. Working lights can be added. And then we have the extension. So you can add an extension on the front if you would like. That's pretty cool. Next, the Stara Ninja 24,000 and 40,000 from Agritono. Also, Agritono just reached a huge milestone. We talked about it in Farm Sim News this morning, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. With these, we have a, 24,000 and 40,000 liter respective auger wagons. Very cool through here. First time we saw something like this, I believe, was the Platinum DLC. Was that right? In Farming Simulator 17, also known as that expansion. Back then we only had one. Now we have 2. We do have different wheel options, so you can choose what you like. We do have the box model of green and stainless steel, and we could change up the rim color. That's going to be for both. Next, the Lizard fuel tanks. I don't know why it says tanks. There are a couple in here, but it's a customization option, not separate tanks. So these are going to be available in 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000 liters respectively. The name is JD Modding ARG, and well, that explains all of the colors. It's not a John Deere, but they do choose those. You have colors for main, water tank, brand decals, and rims. Next on our list is the Unia Apollo 16 Premium. This is a manure spreader. It'll hold 20,000 liters, and it'll spread at 12 meters, 9 miles per hour. Beautiful piece of machinery right here. We've got different wheel brands and setups. Stickers can be removed, so you can debrand it. And then we've got main, design, and rim colors. You can really change this thing up. One of my favorite mods released today is this guy, the Krone Emsland trailer. This will hold 5,000 liters, and we can add some extensions onto the side. It will also have these extensions as the bell trailer, which looks a little bit interesting, but is what it is. We also have different colors for it as well, so you can choose those. And we even have colors for the frame. These are not color choices, they are customization options. Plus, we can have a little ladder on the front. This is a pretty big trailer, at least compared to people. See what I mean? It's almost as tall as my Mohawk. Next mod on the list today is the Lizard ARC, or the ARC from Hulse FS. This is going to be a pack of plows. The ARC 10, 15, and 20, giving us a 2.6, 4.1, and 5 meter working widths. Customization is going to be the same on all of these. We have different wheel options. We have different disc options around towards the back, plus main colors and rim colors. If you've been looking for a Dalbo mulcher, we got you right here. This one is the Dalbo Maxicut 600. I do love Dalbo mods, so this is very, very up my alley. It's 150 horsepower, 5.9 meter working width at 12 miles an hour. We do have wheel brands on here, as well as a tractor triangle, which can be added to the back. And then we've got main, design, and chassis. I'm interested to see what the design is. Okay, that's going to be all of your hydraulics and bits and bobs. And then chassis is going to be, well, there you go. Guess that answers that. Next on our list is a roller, the Güttler Matador 30. I was about to say 300, this is 30. They say it's a front packer of the brand Güttler. This is an interesting mod. So they say it's a roller, and it is when used like that, but we can also add a seeder to it, which they consider it to be a grassland roller or weeder. Check this out. Grass rollers and weeders improve the yield of your grass fields. It's just an interesting mod, that's all. Next, we got chainsaw. The Lizard PS90 pack. We've got quite a few different chainsaws here. These are pretty much going to be the same, but there are a couple things with them. And one of the interesting things is there's also a decorative version of these too. And interestingly, the chainsaw that is in the decoration is not in decorations. It's also not in chainsaws. So I had to go to mods and DLCs. And I did find it, so at least there is that. And this one's kind of neat, so you could change up the different models. So we have all of the ones that are in the game that actually work. Then we've got different stickers which could be added, which is very, very, very cool. It also says Dolpima on there, which is kind of interesting because the Dolpima chainsaw is only on PC. So this one actually has a model name on there, which is not licensed. So you may want to grab this because it may get removed fairly quickly. We also have different handles, head covers on here, tree claw, which is cool. There you go. You can add that or not. We've got the bar itself with different working widths and then different colors. Also, quick heads up, I am finishing up the video now and I've just hit reset, and it does look like the Lizard PS90 pack has been removed, probably due to the branding. All right, so now we've got a couple placeables. We have the silo for wood chips and straw. It's also for hay as well. So here's the version for the straw, and you can also put hay in there. 5 million liter capacity. These things are not playing around. And here is your one for wood chips. So there is that. But I will say this, it is labeled as grain silo, a silo for storing crops. This one is kind of done right, a hayloft, silo for wood chips and straw, which kind of makes me think maybe they took like the stuff from base game stuff? I'm not quite sure. Well, we can actually do a little bit of testing now that we've got some time. So wood chips works. Yes, we know this much. But will wheat work? No. So the title on the mod is actually incorrect. It is not a grain silo. Up next on our list today, we have the grain storage with drying floor from Swifty. It's available in 2 different looks, so if you want one with stone, you can do it, or the plaster, you can do it. However, on the inside, they're going to be exactly the same. So let's open up this accordion-style door. Check that. Oh, I got to open both. Ooh. Through here, we have our drying floor, as it were. Yeah. Not too much to it. I wonder if there's anything. Let's see. We can turn the shed lights on. Boom. But it doesn't look like there's a whole lot else. This is a very nice shed on the inside, though. I'll give it that much. Next is another new shed from Patty and Icus. This one is the big storage. You've got colors as well as solar panels. And the last one, by the way, also had colors and solar panels as well. This one has 6 massive doors across the front with one really, really big door on the other end. We got a man door right there, and we've got some pallets right here. Although I still am convinced that the pallets are upside down. But maybe that's just me. Maybe they're just messing with me because they know I'm like, wait a minute. Also, with the custom colors, for example, this is the same color as Omatana's TARDIS mods. I saved that color. So there you go. Pretty cool. Next to last new for all platforms, we have the Water Deco. These are pretty cool. So they are boats. You can customize them. So it's all available. You start with a canoe and then you go into customization and you could choose the one that you want. You might be able to see, but if we look closely, can you see them moving? They do that on their own. I've put them on the ground, but you can put them in the water as long as you own the area that the water is, because they're placeables, obviously. But they all bounce around like they're in the water, but they'll bounce around everywhere, which is also interesting. The canoe goes through the ground a little bit, so you might be able to see, there you go, the ground come up. That's supposed to be like the water, so just heads up through there. Also, they say that there are clips, or not clips, but the point where they have a, what you call it, the collision is just as small as possible. So you can see I'm actually able to walk through, and then you see me go up and then back down. That was me standing on the collision. They also say with this one, if you're playing hide and seek, you can come over here if you find that, and then dip down. You can hide from your friends. So if this were on the water, you could stand on the collision so you don't sink, and you can hide. Look at that. You can't even see me. I'm a boat. I think that's pretty cool. This is a neat pack. Again, they only go on the water if you own the water, though. All right, our last new one today for all platforms is going to be the BHG. This is a selling station and a buying station. So the selling station is over here. You can sell wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, grape, olive, sunflower, soybean, corn, potato, sugar beet, cotton, sugar cane, seeds, eggs, wool, fertilizer, and lime. However, if you want to buy stuff, you can buy them here. You can buy seeds, fertilizer, mineral feed, liquid fertilizer, herbicide, pig feed, lime, potatoes, and wheat. So there you go. If you want to, I can show you with this. We can buy a couple things with this, not liquid, but we can buy, I think, everything else. So we'll just pull up through here, make sure that triggers around somewhere right there, and then we got salt, first, food, lamb, also potatoes. So I'm gonna buy me some potatoes. This whole 50,000, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, you can do that. Pretty cool, huh? See, 2096. I'm a little bit curious. Can I sell these back? I can. What do I get for them? Hey, I made money! I'm in easy mode, but I made money! Very cool. The BHG! Now let's look at updates for all platforms. The first one is going to be the Lizard Moscha Duo Pack version 1001. 3D rework, color configuration, and added a new tool. Next up, the Buyable Bales Pack version 1001. Added Buyable Bales with delivery and placeable category, and added square bales with 1.2 meters of height. This is insane. Being able to buy them and have them placed down wherever you want is super cool. I imagine this is only going to work as long as you own the land, though, so heads up there. And lastly, we have Cowshed with Garage version 1.1. 3 color variants added. Next up, let's talk about the new ones for PC and Mac players. We have the Raba Steiger 250. I was kind of hoping this will be released as a Lizard Steiger as well. However, that has not happened, at least as of yet. From AAA Modding, good to see them at it and doing they thing. $26,500. We have a Lizard set of tires. We also have a Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental BKT, Vredestein, and a Mitas. Mitas are little itty bitty things. Look at that. Hey! We also have a beacon light up at the top, right smack dab in the middle. Attachments. We've got basically with or without. Well, I say with or without a 3-point, but that kind of looks like a 3.2, at least some sort of it. Nonetheless, you do have multiple different setups. Plus, we have a chassis color. So I imagine these yellow ones are set up to be the base colors. However, you can change it up if you want. Next, we have a chainsaw. So this is the Dolpima PSX90. So these are basically the branded version of the other chainsaws. So we've got those. And if you wanted, that's the placeable version since we already talked about it. And then up here, you've got all the ones that you can actually buy. And your last new one for PC and Mac players today is going to be the Workshop Trigger. This was pretty sweet. So it's found in placeables and tools, and it is automatic. So on this, it automatically repairs, washes, and paints your vehicle to 100%, which is very cool. Here I've got a truck that is 100% wear and 100% dirt. However, there's the maintenance is fine on it. So let's drive this through and just kind of see what happens. I don't even know. Oh, that's so cool. So it is free when it does this, so it doesn't cost you anything. However, to have this trigger on your farm, it is going to cost you $4,000 per day. It only costs $1,000 to place down. But yeah, $4,000 per day to have this. It is, again, because everything is free. However, because it's PC and Mac only, I would definitely just go in and, I don't know, change the maintenance per day to 0, and then it's just free. And easy as well. I love that. Also, you can use it as a workshop too, so that's cool. Lastly, today let's talk about updates for PC and Mac players. First one is VehicleInspector version 1001. New view optional more details all in box. Fix first start save game without vehicles. View not vehicles in VI box is auto height on. God, this is really rough translated. These words do not go with this order. Also, fix first default key F9 mouse on off. Fix save value controlled name length and Lua error writable. Get name LS25 sync problems. Woo, English problems. Secondly, VG Livemap version 1101. Fix fruit name displayed on fields, changed owner for farm name or NPC, and fix season calculation. And lastly, Farmland Overview version 101. Fixed incorrect display of area sizes and acreage, and fixed crash when using the explicit farmland names that are not numbers, like only Riverbend Springs edit mod map. And there you go. That is all of your mods for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did, subscribe it if you're new and join the DjGoHam fam. Again, if you missed the live stream this morning for Farm Some News, definitely check that out. I do have timestamps in it, even though it's a 1 hour long video, so you'll be able to jump ahead to see what you want to see first. Otherwise, just have an awesome day. Happy Wednesday to you. We'll catch you in the next one.